Hello, my name is Amelia and I'm here with my colleague Azim. Today we're going to be talking you through understanding your rights as a victim of crime. So this means we're going to talk you through the Victims Code of Practice and the 12 rights within that. I'll talk through the first 6 and I'll hand over to Azim for the second half and what to do if your rights under the Victims Code haven't been met. So what is the Victims Code of Practice? This is a document that outlines what your rights are if you have been a victim of crime when you're interacting with the criminal justice system. There's 12 rights in total, and this applies to all criminal justice agencies, but that includes the police, Crown Prosecution Service, the courts, and probation services. The first right is your right to be able to understand and to be understood. So this means when you're speaking with criminal justice agencies, they should give you information in a way that's easy for you to understand and help you to understand this information where applicable. So that includes stuff like access to interpretation and translation services. The second right is you have the right to have the details of the crime recorded without any unjustified delay. So as soon as the incident takes place, as soon as possible afterwards, the police should be recording the incident. And if you are required to do a witness statement or to be interviewed by the police, you have the right to be provided with any additional support you need to help you through that process. You have the right to be provided with information when reporting the crime. So this means, for example, you've spoken to the police, you reported a crime. You have the right to be told about what the next steps of that is in the criminal justice journey. You have the right to be told about any programs or services for victims available. And this includes services like restorative justice, where this is applicable to you. You have the right to be referred to these services as well, any services that support victims and have those services and the support tailored to your needs. So this could be a service like ours at Victim Support, it could be other specialist support services. And if you were to, for example, attend court as a witness, this includes things like getting special measures requested so you can give your best evidence possible when you're a witness. You have the right to be provided about any compensation and how to claim it. So this is compensation for any loss, damage, or injury that's been caused as a result of the crime. And you have the right to be provided with information about the investigation and the prosecution. So if any important decisions are taken in your case, for example, the decision to prosecute someone, you should be updated about that as soon as possible in a timely manner. And you have the right at certain stages of the process to ask these decisions to be looked at again by the relevant provider. Yeah.
So hi there, I'm going to now take over and go through the next 6 points of the Victims Code of Practice. So point number 7 is you have the right to make a victim personal statement. So this is quite important for people that have been victims of a crime to have a chance after sentencing to explain the impact that the crime has had on them. And that will be read out or looked at by the judge at their discretion during a sentencing if a defendant is found guilty. For more information around victim personal statements, we do have another webinar, so I would recommend checking that out. So point number 8 is you have the right to be given information about the trial process, and your role as a witness. So if your case goes to court, you have the right to be told the time, date, and location of any hearing that's taken place and the outcome of any of those hearings, and you have the right for this in a timely manner. Just to bear in mind, in some cases, you may be on a warned list, which means that you will not find out the date and the time of the hearing until the day before. It can be very short notice, but it will either be for the following morning or the following afternoon, but that will be explained to you by your witness care officer. Right, so, and if you are required to give evidence, you have the right to be offered appropriate help before the trial, such as around special measures, if translators are needed and so on. And if the court allows, you will have the chance to meet with the prosecutor in your case before giving evidence. Again, with that, bear in mind that there will not be the luxury of time around that. So it could literally be 20 minutes before you have to go through to give evidence. So if you do have any questions for the prosecutor, I would recommend writing them down beforehand so you don't forget. Point number 9, you have the right to be given information about the outcome of the case and any appeals in a timely manner. So if the defendant is convicted, you have a right to have an explanation of what that sentence is, what it means. And importantly, if the offender appeals that conviction or sentence, you have the right to be told about the appeal, its process, and then the outcomes of such an appeal. So point number 10 is you have the right to be paid expenses and have property returned. So when you attend trial, you're entitled to claim for things such as travel expenses to and from the court. There's also cases where you can be reimbursed for loss of earnings. Bear in mind that that will be at a base level though, so it might not be every penny that you would be earning, but for more information about that, when you're in the court, that will be explained to you, as well as you being able to pick up a form to fill out for that. Again, if any of your property was taken to be used as evidence in the case, in the trial, once that trial has been completed, you have the right to have that property returned to you as soon as possible. So point number 11 is you have the right to be given information about the offender following a conviction. So in certain cases where eligible, usually sentences over sort of a 12-month period, you have the right to be automatically referred to the victim contact scheme. This is run by the probation service, and they will provide you with any information about the offender around things such as the progress they're making in prison, and importantly, if and when they become eligible for any consideration for parole or indeed release. So where applicable, you also have the right to make a new victim personal statement, which can explain how the crime continues to affect you. Again, there is a webinar around making victim personal statements, and I would recommend looking at that. So the 12th point in the Victim Code of Practice is you have the right to make a complaint about your rights if they have not been met. So if you feel that any of those rights haven't been met, you have the right to make a complaint to the relevant service provider initially. So that could be the police or the courts, so on. If you remain unhappy with those decisions, this can be escalated to the Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman. So looking at this flow chart, you can see the last part of the process is you would need to contact your MP and ask them to refer you to the Ombudsman as a last measure, as they will not accept any cases from members of the public. So if you look down on the right-hand side, not sure you can click on the link, but you can see the URL to check out who your local candidate is, your local member of Parliament. For any other information as well, you can look at our website, www.victimsupport.org.uk. That will explain more about the process as well. So one last thing is we have a thing called the Victim Support Voice app. So what this means is it's a live app, and it provides you with a designated platform for you to share any experiences you've had in the criminal justice system and so on, being a victim of a crime, good or bad, and importantly, ways that you feel that maybe things can be changed so you can have your voice. This again can be seen on our website, but if you are generally already in touch with a victim support caseworker, they can also send you a link for that. So I'd just like to finish up by saying thank you from us both for you checking out this webinar. We hope you found it helpful. Please do check out the other webinars and indeed our website if you have any more questions. Thank you very much for your time.